Hey everybody, it's Corey from Unified Masters. So I wanted to come on and discuss, drop some codes about some things that have happened recently and what we really need for the New Earth build-out, and that is the release of the Humanitarian funds and the New Earth trusts as they are in the midst of being released. The codes have been activated within the banking system. And right now, there's a lot that we can do on our end towards expediting the process of being able to receive those funds and receive the wealth that we desire for our New Earth build-outs, for our community projects, for our businesses. That's what the allocation of these funds is for, is to basically help us in proceeding with our New Earth businesses. So, first off is limiting beliefs, really changing the relationship dynamic that we have with money. There are some ripples and streams that are being fed through the collective still, and this is one that lightworkers have a really difficult time with being able to access, is our view of money and abundance. And we have so many limiting beliefs that are associated with money and with abundance that it's time to really break down 100%. If you need any help with breaking down your abundance blocks or any of your limitations, the perfect person that I know to do this is my wonderful partner Samantha. Has a bunch of different abundance blocks clearings, and it's her passion actually is working with abundance blocks so we can be able to manifest truly what it is we desire. But the thing is it's not so much now just being able to attract what it is we desire, but it's what we are doing with the funds as well. As we know, it is energy, and with energy there's a flow to it. There's an even give and take. And so the idea is to be mindful of what we are subscribing to. So when I say subscribing to, what are we paying into? What systems are we paying into? Is your dollar feeding towards expansion, or is it feeding towards collapse? Now, if we look at the level of, paying for rent or paying your taxes, one could say that it's paying for expansion, one could say it's paying for collapse. What I'm talking about is not your basic essentials, such as housing, utilities, things of that nature. What I'm talking about is, where are you buying your groceries? What are you with your money, are you holding it all for yourself, or are you letting that energy flow naturally? Are you supporting other lightworkers? Are you donating? How is it helping towards building community? This is what we mean with the imbalance of the money system, and a big part that is leading to that imbalance right now is fear of economic collapse. So when that ripple and that distortion gets sent out through the collective with economic collapse, what it ends up doing is it throws us all into a state of holding. So we start to hold. Basically, we work harder now towards saving up. We then hold onto money, we stop the flow, and we keep that narrative running. So it's not only happening at an individual level, but it's happening at a collective level. And there's a lot of fear that is produced from those ripples and those timelines and those distortions. So the idea is that we need to get rid of all that. We need to let all of that pass, and we need to change our relationship with it, as well as stop paying attention to the news and paying attention to what the big bankers are saying. Because what's happening too is that with the big call of the shift of the energies has also been called for a new level of soul exchange, which means walk-ins of masters, which means that people that are high up in the banking systems, people that are high up in the political systems right now are going to be experiencing walk-ins. That means that their soul, at a soul level, is going to not be here anymore, and that vessel is now going to inhabit a master, or a new soul that is going to come help in the New Earth build-out, which means that it's going to look like the same old face, but there's going to be a big change in the way that these operations are moving forth. That is the call that has been happening now with the change in the structures and really building out the New Earth government, building out the New Earth banks, and the whole grander scale, the macro of the New Earth build-out. And so with this, by the way, sorry for all the smoke coming up, but I have sandalwood, I have nice incense running through this to help purify this entire conversation. But with this too is changing the way that we view wealth. And it is actually just shown to me right now by Samantha's tea. She has a tea bag, and it says, what does it say, hon?
Prosperity.
Yeah? Is within. Prosperity is within. And I just wanted to quote it 100% correct as it was on the tea bag. But it's that the true wealth, the true treasure that you so desire, is this treasure that you hold within. And so when we change our relationship to money, this is also changing the relationship with ourselves and recognizing that it's our divine birthright to be abundant. We are abundant in nature. When we look at our cells, we have how many cells? Trillion cells within our body that are constantly reproducing. That's abundance. Breath. When we look at the amount of oxygen in the air, when we look at the amount of blades of grass that are all around the world, we are abundant by nature. It is our divine birthright to be abundant. And so with that, we recognize that within, but we recognize it not from a state of, I'm in fear of lack, so then I switch to an abundant mindset, but an internal knowing and an acceptance of our abundant birthright. And so even if you're still feeding, if you are in fear of a lack narrative and switch your perspective into an abundance narrative, you're still feeding a lack narrative. So it's a very tricky process, and I'm still trying to figure out this balance of when I'm switching my abundance mindset. Is it because I'm in a state of fear and lack, or is it because I truly feel that abundance within? And this is where we change our perspective and our scope of abundance and recognize that it's our divine birthright. We take our sovereignty back and we recognize that there are those of us out here that are doing great things for not only ourselves, but for the community. And it's our time to receive everything we truly desire so we can really build out and give more and provide more opportunity, provide more healing spaces, really build out our New Earth projects that we want to do, you know, whether it's opening up schools, whether it's opening up a shelter, it's opening up your whatever it is that your New Earth build out is. Everyone's been getting their downloads. But as a result of this, we also need you to step into your mastery. We need you to own your light. We need you to shine. Because this is what this shift in frequency has called for in this 2020 timeline that we're hopping into with the golden age, is that it's now time to really own our light and know that we're no longer completely disbanded or isolated. There are so many of us globally that as soon as you start to shine your light and go step out into the real world and let you be you authentically, you're going to start finding that there's more of you out there. And this is what creates that interconnectedness, the crystalline network that we're all tapped into right now, that we all are feeding this information to one another. And this is what's going to help in the unification process, is that when we own our mastery and we own that wealth within and we know the treasure that is us, the eternal infinite being that is our soul and our presence, then when we hone in that worth reflects outward, and then we start to attract everything we so desire. And so the New Earth build out is very different for everyone, and it seems, at least for me, it's been very tricky in navigating how abundance works, especially since we are stepping out of the old law of attraction narrative and we're really stepping into a new way that the law of attraction is working for people. And that's because this is what the call and the shift has been, because there have been controllers for so long that have been working with these universal secrets and have been using it for negative good. And when we found, or did I say negative good? They've been using it for negative reasons. And when we looked at the 2012 shift into New Earth, that's when everything shifted, especially with how we are attracting everything we so desire. It's now that the collective is put before the individual. And that's basically how it needs to be, is that at a collective level, like if you receive all the money you desire, but you're not in a place right now to use it for the greater good of humanity or at a collective level, the universe is going to withhold your funds so a group of individuals don't have to deal with the backlash of you receiving your money, if that makes sense. That's just one perspective of being able to view abundance and why it isn't arriving. So a lot of this now is just shifting out that framework, shifting out our beliefs with it, but also too, there are things we could do at a light working level to help get these codes active and running through the systems quicker. And the call right now is to basically inject love, light, and love magic into every one of your financial proceedings from here on out through 2020. And this is going to be the new way that we deal with money. So what was told to me by my guidance team was to basically, if you have any dollar bills on you, send love and light and blessings into those dollar bills and make sure that as it circulates, that abundance arrives to every single person that receives that money. This is going to be changing the energy of that money. So if we look at, old money, okay, old money, like the old oil money, this new money needs to arrive by shifting the energy of this money. So this is the first thing we can do is by, if you're a healer, you work with energy, putting positive vibe and energy into the bills. You can also do this with upgrading your banks. So by upgrading your banks, you can actually go at an energetic level and imagine a golden blessing ball of light in between your hands, and imagine your bank account, however you visualize that, in this blessing ball, and send it up to source for an upgrade. And then what you're gonna do is you're upgrading the energetic structure, the energy behind your bank account, and you can actually inject different colors into it. So you can inject, pinks for love, peaches for peace, rainbows. You can start to add unicorns, whatever you want to do to be able to bring that light, love, and that magic to your bank account is really gonna help. So basically, if your intention is pure and it's aligned with love, you cannot go wrong here. So if you want to, call forth the leprechauns to come forth and to sprinkle some magic into your bank account, you can do that as well. The biggest thing right now is changing also how we are having our interactions at financial institutions. So if you go into a bank, radiate your light outward. Be extra friendly. Be very complimentary to the bank teller, and just ask, set the intention that there is love and light that is sent through all of the money that is sitting within that bank right there, or fed into the technological systems that are upholding those bank accounts. And so what we're doing is we're flooding the financial system with love and light. And we're gonna help to get these codes that have been anchored into the higher up aspects of the banks, and we're gonna let that flood through and help to spread that light everywhere. So every time that we do that, every dollar, every penny that touches the hands of an individual is gonna be blessed with positive energy, with love, with light, with 5D earth codes. And because of that, that person's gonna be activated. They're gonna be stepping into their new earth build out. And you see how this trickles outward? It's a chain reaction that's gonna help at a collective level to stop these ripples. As we are aware, the light has won, plain and simple. The systems are breaking down. But it doesn't mean that they're not going down without a fight. These guys, I commend the system and I commend the forces that be for continually fighting, because it's honorable. They're not going, even though they've lost and they know that they've lost and that it's done, they're still putting up a battle. And so this is our push. This is our push forward to inject that beautiful white magic into everything that we do to help send this beautiful love wave out and clear that out once and for all, and for good, finally for good. So that is the call right now. And so with that, I have some new earth codes that I'm going to activate within people for light language. We're going to do some limiting belief stuff right now. We're going to do let's see, what else can we do? Basically everything that we need for the New Earth Trust, the humanitarian funds, and what's going to help you personally towards activating your abundance codes and removing your limiting beliefs. I'm going to bring forth now in light language to help in this process. So really quick, I'm just going to do some energy work. Connect everyone to the crystalline grid. And connect you to source. Just going to do some smudge. Let this incense purify our energy connection. I'm going to go ahead and call forth New Earth Abundance codes now to be downloaded into your field. I ask that this download meet you with love and with light, and with grace and flow and abundance. So let's go ahead and open up your heart space. As I go into the light towards activating your New Earth Abundance codes, getting these codes running through the systems, running through the grid, and activating your potential, your magic, and your prosperity that you hold within. Asarukantonai koanahu. Iotona kisar ukush atawukan at tapikias na korutoaka. Wala nakiwa tauntangi tar ush etipikias no tono tor ukua. Ichantangi atona kor utus otauya tambauaka. Ofatiatona tor ukunutos es it an okoratawakia. Nator Ruhukanto na siya sa itanokon or ukuwatari if ikos on utukunutor ukushtikao. Itong gautan na takia sa nakuru shutura kinipiao tong nakawita sa ito. Hiao handoro shantakunokono as etapatakin etak of it is handoro shandau kaun tapi kiokao. Hushoto nakaru uko tauka. Hi hatuna hakia sa hanito noru piste kiao kona kiat siao no dumakoa. Haruto chusaki in is ek atak no put ok oshutoruka siuta. Huta na pekina yete santo doko tak tik 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 tik. Hapatoko no taru uko tokenitas an ek et owa. Ruhush Mita sanakun oton na pikinat ar otokuno ta wikipeado mo. He hanno panayo he hao. Yatona ruho isanetiu kambo. Umanakiu hat morruho etasienda. Isantona kor ush nitao natakiwa. O taun tangking garu uk an et ek es an aloto norovu uk urushutu. Isyo tanaria tonga kuha. Ya doru ukono tamatanas or ukush and ipik et on or ukuata. And so remember, throughout this time that death and rebirth are a natural part of any cycle, as we have learned from the earth for a very long period of time. So once again, you might see some things start to ripple and shake up either within or without through the collective. But recognize what it's bringing forth, that these tower moments need to happen for the new earth build out. And it's not, sometimes they come through and they sweep through in one giant wave. Sometimes it's a little bit of a trickle effect. It's going to be varied for every single person. But it really is time for us to open up our arms to the love and the divine love that is here, that is helping us to progress, change, shift, grow. And it's really time for us to receive everything we want for our new earth build out, to really build our communities, to support our brothers and sisters, to unify in love, to take care of the land, to take our power back. And to protect our children, because we have a big wave of star children that are coming up right now, and new beings that are coming down onto the planet, and they need us right now more than ever, just as we need one another more than ever right now. So much love and respect to everyone out there in the Webiverse. I love you all unconditionally, and if you haven't, click subscribe. All my links are in the description box. And with that, I look forward to seeing how this helps everyone out. And I look forward to seeing what comes about from these wonderful changes. And let's continue building and doing our thing. So much love and respect to everybody out there in the Webiverse. And I will see you on the other side. Namaste.